There we go.
All right. It looks like my headset was disconnected. All right, everybody, welcome. My name is Fausto from Cybertrade University. Thank you guys for sticking around and being here for this lovely day. We're in the prime of the market around 2 o'clock. Things are going to start picking up going to be picking up. I'm going to actually show all of you a little bit about what is trading, how to follow the smart money, and hopefully everybody enjoyed watching that quick little video that we posted regarding about some of our students, their experiences here at Cybertrade University, and hopefully I'm going to make one of you the same thing because a lot of people want to trade, and we go out there, we sample a couple other people's stuff out there. You might find out that it might not be what you're looking for. Maybe it's not your style. You want to do this. You want to make supplemental income, but you still haven't found the right person. So hopefully today will be your last stop. And I want to just take the time to thank my staff and everyone here that helped to make this possible. And I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of this presentation, you do not want to leave, because what I'm going to show you something is going to knock your socks off. So just to let you know, everything we show you today, we practice what we preach. And my goal today is I can't teach you how to make money in an hour. I could just literally make you drool and spark your interest. But at the end of this presentation, hopefully you'll be one of those lucky ones and maybe be one of those great students of ours that gave that great testimonial. So let me just change the slide here really quick and talk about a couple of things. So what do top traders know the most that traders don't? Well, first of all, make sure that trading, is very risky. So without going on and making no guarantees and no promises and no warranties, listen, I want to put the fear in God in you. Is trading risky? Absolutely, it's very risky. Hey, you know what? Drinking and driving is very risky too. I know everybody wants to try this, but you know what? You got to learn how to do it. So just to let you know, we're not going to take any responsibility, and want to make sure all of you guys know what you're getting yourself involved in, because trading, there is no guarantees in it, and you can lose not all of it, but more, if you don't know what you're doing. So just be very careful and be responsible. So let's talk about what we're going to be learning. Okay. What we'll be learning and focusing, we're going to focus on the fast movers, low price stocks. I'm going to show you and define what is called tradable and non-tradable stocks. A lot of people look at some stocks and they just don't know why one stock is better to trade than the other. It's all about risk to reward. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about how to build a morning and afternoon watch list. There's a lot of stocks that are moving. How do you know which one to trade? You know how you know which one is going to give you the least amount of risk with the high amount of reward? And my all-time favorite, how to read level 3. And more or less, there's even a level 4. Some of you are probably still trading on something called, I don't know, level 2. That's been outdated for over, I don't know, 20 years or so. I don't know why it's still around. It's been outdated since the 90s. But I'm going to show you what is an ECN book. And actually, I'm going to even spark your interest. I'm going to show you what a real ECN order looks like, and how to read time and sales, and how to configure it. How do you know these are real orders? How do you know they're not fake orders? I'm going to show you exactly how that works. So just really quick and tell you a little bit about Cybertrade University before we get into the educational part of it, because everyone's probably sitting here, who the hell is Fausto Pugliese? Why am I here? Is this another guru that's here to kind of tell you why he's the best? Listen, I've been doing this for 25 years. That alone should tell you that I've been through the financial crisis. I've been through the internet bubble, Hurricane Sandy, 9/11, COVID, and I'm still here. We're also endorsed by every brokerage firm in the industry, more than any school in the industry. We have a 5-star rating on Google. We have no complaints to the Better Business Bureau. How does a guy have that great of a track record? Well, you're going to see, because the way I've learned how to trade is the way I'm going to teach you guys. You got to know how to play the game. And just to let you know, I mean, as my good friend Tom Busby, everybody knows who he is. That was a great photo we just took in his beautiful area in, Jacksonville, Florida, his new home. But I know Tom for, I don't know, it's got to be almost like 2 decades, I would say. And we've done so many events around the world, and I've done so many presentations, have spoken in front of, I would say, over millions of people over the years. And why I love teaching and why I'm here is that I'm sick and tired of seeing people lose money. I was a failure when I first started. Why? Because back when I started, I don't think we have too many 22-year-olds in here. And being an ignorant kid, I thought maybe I could go out there, do it myself, and blah blah blah. Well, anyway, I finally gave up because I didn't realize it's not as easy as just reopening up the Wall Street Journal or Barron's and putting on the financial stations. You got to work for somebody within any business. You want to get in construction. You want to be a doctor. You want to get into engineering. You want to be a teacher. You got to be in the industry. You just can't go out there and think, you know what? This guy makes so much money. I'm going to do it myself. You got to work for somebody. So fortunate for me, I live here in New York. It's the financial capital of the world. And this is the heart of where it all started. So I said, you know what? Let me take a job. Let me finally, I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to commute to Manhattan. I didn't want to do, and not only that, it's not like today, you pay for training. Back then, you had to split your profits. Well, it's better than losing, I would say, right? So let me tell you something. What I learned on the first day on the job and what you're about to learn in the next 10 minutes, you're going to wish you never made your first trade because it didn't matter what you and I thought. It's what Wall Street matters. It's what those big kahunas, those mutual funds, the hedge funds, the algorithms, the high frequency trade, it's them. It's not you or me. You can't trade millions of shares of it. They can. Why not follow them? And I'm telling you, I was blown away when I actually sat there and looked at it. I'm like, the first thing I said, and you guys are going to say the same thing. Who here can actually say, you know what? What makes me better and smarter than them? Listen, it's okay not to be a follower. It's good to be a leader. But now let me tell you why I'm here. I was such a very good trader that I got sick and tired of splitting my profits. I wanted to go on my own. The problem is I didn't want to open up a brokerage firm. The liability and, it's just a lot. It's expensive. You need a lot of money to do that. But how could I actually take what I've learned and continue to do it? Because the only way you're going to be successful is you have to surround yourself with good traders, surround yourself with good platforms, and get a good ticket deal. Well, I said, you know what? Maybe I'll start a school, and I said, let me try to teach people and we'll trade together. And you know what? Cyber Trade University was one of the first schools that started in the industry. And we're very proud of it. I think we were just side by side when Tom Busby started. And that's over 25 years. Now, why do I trade? Because not only do I love it, I think it helped me with my marriage. My parents, I'm first generation Italian. My parents came here with $20 in their pocket. Couldn't even speak English. They like most immigrants that came here. And the big thing that they taught me was family values. And this is the country of opportunity. So my father always taught me, he says, son, try to go out there, get a job that's going to pay you a lot of money, because money does make things easier. But it also, you could spend something that you could spend a lot of time with your family. And that's why I love teaching, because I've learned that, I had such a good relationship with my family. I got my 3 sons. You can see I don't make any girls. And you know what? That's a presentation me doing on the Nasdaq. And it's just a great experience. We just love doing it. And and people recognize that you got to surround yourself with good mentors and good traders. So I'm looking for traders out there that are logged in right now that can be part of my team, that I can be part of my second family, which is my traders, that we could teach and do this together. Because listen, I don't trade all day. And when I don't trade, I like to jump in my trading room, which you're all going to be invited, and I like to see your name. You, who do we got in here? The list goes on and on. Like you, Alan, you, Anita, Barbara, Brian, Charles, Craig. I mean, it's over 200 people in there. Denver. I want you to be the next trader in there. I could say, hey, Doreen, what's going on with the stock that you're trading right now? The CI, that's the stock that they're looking at right now. Oh, Fausto, the stock, big iceberg order, big block orders are bidding it up. The stock is up about 30%. Really? Thank you very much. I want to join. And she'll be like, you know what? I made my money. You could take over. I hope that you guys could be that person. So that is the main reason why I teach. So it's not only that I'm here to make money and trade, but I'm also looking to teach people I could trade with, And that's what I've learned. By the way, that's a great photo right there, Forbes magazine. A bunch of kids tormenting Wall Street. Guess what? That was a friend of mine. That was me. And you know what's so scary? Not to change the subject. Look at those monitors. 15-inch monitors. Those are Quotrons. If we can make money on a stupid 15-inch monitor and paying $20 a ticket, and you can't do it today with free tickets with as many monitors you want, listen, hopefully we could change that. So that's the main reason why we're here, and that's the main reason we're going to make money together. So quick, before we get started, let's have a little fun, okay? I want to do a poll question. And let me share this poll question with you. And I'm just curious, what kind of trader is everybody here? We launch this poll. And I'm going to share, just out of curiosity, what kind of trader we have. All right, just give you a couple of seconds on this. Have a sip of my coffee. Daniel and Gary, just don't put in the chat. There's a poll question on the right. Just click on what you have on the right-hand side. Now, listen, as you guys are filling out this questionnaire, let me tell you something. Listen, there's a lot of different types of markets, options, futures, Forex. Let me tell you something, how things work. This is how I was taught. And this is basically, I can relate it to you hiring somebody or working with someone. If you're doing something and you're not seeing progress and within, I don't know, 60 to 90 days, it's probably not for you. You probably have a bad mentor or you're not very good at it, okay? And you know what? That's okay. But you still want to trade the market. So why not try a different market? So let me just share this exit and share the poll. And you can see that's great. We have a lot of options traders. And you know what? Let me tell you something about options. You want to be a good options trader? I'll tell you how you become an options trader. You should learn how to trade the stock first. Because isn't it the movement of the stock that makes an option move? If you knew what stock is moving, maybe you'll know what option to trade. Now, I know there's so many strategies, but the reason why people like the stock market, it's just black or white. It's just buy or sell. That's basically it. Same thing with futures, Listen, they all have very sexy stories. What makes one better than the other? But you know what? You want to be good at something like that? You got to all starts with the stock market. Listen, you put the financial stations on. What do they talk about all day? The stock market, 95% of it, maybe 90% is the stock market. Cryptocurrencies are even talking more about futures and Forex, for crying out loud. So this is why I personally day trade. Now, if you know this, now I'm not, I'm not a jack of all trades because you can't, because then you can't be, master of none. You've probably heard of that before. I like to day trade because I like to sleep at night. And I think some of you here are probably realizing that now. You're probably doing trades and you're probably looking at your trading journals like, I understand, I'm not really going anywhere. And, I could have had this, I could have had that. But, would it be nice just to just go to bed and you can go on vacation and not worry about it. And then wake up one morning, stock goes from 21 down to 9. By the way, has that ever happened to anybody? No one could see anyone's chat. I'm just curious. Had anyone ever had that problem? It stinks, right? I mean, listen, they say, that happens. That's why people like not to do it. Okay, so now basically in this workshop, what I'm going to show you how to do is to find low price stocks. Why low price? Why not high price? That's exactly my point. Why should you go out there and spend a lot of money to make what you want to make for the day? Why would I go out there and buy a $50 or $100 stock when I can make the same amount of money at a $5 stock, right? Trading is a job, okay? You're out there to make a day's pay. Think about it. If you wanted to make $100,000, let's just use that number. That's about 50 cents on 1,000 shares. If you had a $5 stock that moves 50 cents, it's $500. If you had a $100 stock moves 50 cents, it's $500. It's the same 500. One, you need 100,000, the other one you need 5,000. So please don't make a mistake. Don't make the misconception thinking that, oh, I don't trade penny stocks. First of all, I don't trade penny stocks either, so we're in good shape. And not that I'm against them, it's just that you can't follow the Iceberg Orders. You can't read on Book Viewer. You can't read any of that stuff. And that's really what the main reason is. So we're going to cover all these things about charts. We're going to talk about the potential of these opportunities that you can make with these certain stocks that you can find, ultimately which stocks that you could find and how to think about it for yourself. Because the goal is this: I can't tell you what to buy and sell. I'm not registered to do that, but I'm going to teach you how to figure it out yourself. It's really not that hard. The hardest thing about trading is more of a lot of people just discipline, deer in the headlights. They're seeing this thing go up on them. They're like, is it too late? Whatever it is. So that's really the hardest thing to teach, the psychology part of it. But finding these stocks like ATR, I mean, stock goes from 5 to 780 in, I don't know, what is that, like 2-3 hours? And then look at it. Now the stock is at 10, still going higher on September 8th. I think it even goes higher than that. And then look at that. It goes to 11. Look, it keeps going. It just keeps going. ATLR, look, it went to 13, and this is the 10th. So not only you could be a good day trade, you can apply this to a swing trade. Hey, it went to $19 actually, was that yesterday? So, even though you miss it on one day, you can get the next day and the next day, but it's nice to know you can get in and get in. You could always buy it back. Some of you are like, why don't you just hold it from the first and sell on the 13th? I'll tell you why. Because let me bring this up for you. ATER, right? Let me bring it up. Because that you could see how the stock went from great move from here, from 10, goes all the way up to here to about, 20. And you hold an overnight position. And listen, you can always buy it back tomorrow, and you can always short, and it goes back down to 10. So these things do come back down. But you know what? We're not looking to buy a stock at 11 and sell it at 18. We're looking to buy it at 14 and sell it at 15, make $1 on 1,000 shares, $250,000. So there's some great opportunities out there. But the key is there's so many stocks out there that you could trade. You don't got to trade them all. All right. So does anyone here, now before we get to move on, let me stop sharing this. And does anyone here know how to read level 2 quotes? Just give me a yes or no in the trading room. Anyone here have level 2? Okay, Kevin, you have it. Tony, Mike, Rakesh, you don't. Okay, Larry, Bob, looks like everyone has level 2. Okay, Glenn, you have it. Good, good, good. Damon, perfect. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about level 2. First of all, if you heard me earlier, level 2 is worthless. Well, it's not really worthless. It does have some value, but let me tell you what level 2 is, and then you'll see the value of something called level 3, and wait till we talk about level 4. So let me just get my pointer so you guys could follow along. Okay, so you see my little dot right here? Okay, so basically, actually, let me draw some drawings. Okay, so here's the buyers on this side, and here's the sellers on this side. So you got 3 columns, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what you have right here is the bid is known as the buyers. People that want to, the bid, going long. This is where they are. And you got 3 columns. The first column is a 4-letter abbreviation of a brokerage firm's name or an ECN. That's what MMID. MM stands for Market Maker ID. That's the bid that that person wants to buy it for. And this is the amount of shares. Everything is multiplied by 100. So 3 will be 300. 10 would be 1,000. 1 would be 100. Now, these are people looking to buy it. And if you wanted to, these are the people on the right that looking to sell it. These are people looking to sell their shares. There's the amount of shares they're looking to, what they want to sell it for, and how many shares they want to sell. Now, this is basically how it works. It's a negotiated business, a negotiated way, a box that you're looking at. Whoever wants to buy the stock for the most amount of money is up on top. Whoever wants to buy their shares for the least amount of money is down at the bottom. So you're probably looking at that like, okay, I know that. All right. No, you don't know that. No, you don't. And I'll tell you why. You're not seeing all the data. You are only seeing the best bid and the best offer. You have Nasdaq, you got the New York Stock Exchange, you got Archipelago, you got you got EDGX. These are ECNs and exchanges. What you're seeing right here, and let me just clear this out because I'm starting to make it look a little bit like Joe Madden on Monday Night Football. What you're seeing is the best bid that somebody wants to buy the stock Rice on Nasdaq, and you're seeing the best price that someone's looking to sell it. Well, aren't there people looking to buy it at a cheaper price? And maybe someone's looking to buy more shares. You can't see that. You are only seeing the best bid and the best offer. So how is that even helping you? That's why I'm trying to tell you it's worthless, because you're going to see how valuable when we start getting to level 3. Now, remember, why are we here? We're here not only to find stocks to trade under $5, but you have to know how to find them. You need to know who's buying them, who's selling them. Listen, we're learning to be followers, not leaders. We can't be a leader because we're not trading the millions of shares. So we need to know exactly what these guys and these traders are doing. So let me clear this out. And let me go to the next slide. So I'm going to launch a question here. Does anyone here have level 3 quotes? If you're not sure, just click not sure. I'm just doing a quick poll right here. Be honest. Once again, no one's going to rat you out and tell you spouse that you logged in here and you're trading their money without them knowing that you know what you're doing. I heard that a couple of times. Listen, just be honest with yourself. If you can't be honest with yourself, then you can't admit when you're wrong. All right, so we got, just waiting for everyone. Where would you get these levels? Carmela, we didn't get there yet. We didn't get there yet. Listen, we're going to get there. Listen, it's going to come up quickly. I'm trying to get you focused on what we're looking at, because when I start showing you other stuff, then you're going to know why. Oh, now I know why Fausto took a job as a trader. Oh, now I know why Fausto is being featured on Nasdaq. Oh, now I know why, I always see Cybertrade University has been around for so long, because these people are more focused on the next great crystal ball, when he's just watching because he's a market maker. So I want to talk about that. So let me share the results so you can see how many of you here basically answers. A lot of you that don't have it, I know some of you here are students, so you clicked in yes. So let me explain to you what we're looking at. So I need you to pay 110% right now, because now we're going to get into the training part of it. What we're looking at here is something called an ECN, Electronic Communication Network. Now, if you probably heard of it, you probably thought it was maybe a unicorn or something. You heard of it, but you never seen one. I actually helped develop the ECNs. I remember I'm one of the original SOS bandits when I first started. So basically, I'm not going to tell you the history how this came to fruition, but let me just tell you that I was actually the reason why one of these came, that this exists today. So let me tell you how it works. An ECN book is going to show you all the buyers and all the sellers. Listen, Damon, I call it level 3, and I'll show you what level 3 means. But this is basically the Nasdaq book viewer, okay? And it's right here, actually. Let me bring it up. Here's a live version of it right here, okay? You can see it right here. So let me just show you what it is, and maybe I'll even show you what a real trade looks like. So here are your buyers. Here are your buyers, and here are your sellers, okay? So what you're looking at is you're seeing all the orders out there and how many orders are out there that are looking to be bought at that price. For example, you have 26,000 shares that somebody wants to buy F-Cell at $7, and there are 41 people out there. Now, when you look at this, I know this is where people they look at it and they get a little discouraged. They're like, you know what? There's a lot of buyers and sellers out there, huge buyers and sellers, like all over the place. So you look at all these buyers and sellers and you're like, I don't know. I mean, There's so many numbers. What basically I'm looking at, I'm looking at all these numbers out here. There's only one number you need to be focused on, and that's this guy right here. Okay, that guy right there. So what do you have right here when it comes to that? You have to just look at who's out there looking to buy and who's looking at who's selling it. That's where it comes down to. Now, let me bring up something else I want to show you. Let me bring something else. All right. So let me clear this out, and let me change it. Hold on a second. So the Nasdaq book viewer, okay, the Nasdaq book viewer is a very important tool because, I did a presentation. I was actually a regular guest on Nasdaq. Actually, I'll even play the video a little bit about it, how it works. But actually, when I was out there, I traded the stock, like TLRY. And basically, we kind of show you who's buying it, who's selling it. But most importantly, what makes these stocks go up and go down? Now, Nasdaq wants you to use their trading platform because they want you to know why these things are going up and why they're going down, because that's how their system works. You get to see the raw data. You get to see the big buyers and sellers. Now, I'm going to bring up a stock right here, and I'm going to show you the power of what it's like. What's the difference between, actually, do I have a poll here? Hold on, let me just do one up. Do I have it here? Okay, yeah, this might work. What kind of broker do you have? Do you have a direct access broker or an online broker? Okay, everyone just tell me what you have here. All right, so let me show you what direct access looks like, okay? Here's a stock that we're looking at. And let me see what they're trading right now. Yeah, they're looking at this stock right here. So let me bring it up. They're looking at CEI. Well, CEI is moving a little fast right now. Okay, CEI is moving pretty quickly. So let me find something a little bit slower. I want to show you what it looks like to do a real trade in the market. I'm going to try to find something just a little bit on the slow side. Let me move this up so you guys can see it here. Okay, you can see that right there. All right. Can I get all the ranges? All right. Okay. All right. So right here, we're going to bring up the stock right here, PROG. All right. And I'm just going to do a trade so you can see what it looks like. Now, you see where it says Nasdaq. Well, this one's trading too many shares. Let me try something a little bit. Not trading too many shares. I want to show you what it looks like to do a real live order. Uh, 16. This one probably looks pretty decent. ENVB. All right, so I'm going to go out there and I'm going to use Nasdaq. I'm going to go out there and buy 100 shares at, I don't know, I'm going to put an order. See $3? Could you see it here? Probably 302. I'm going to go at 302. I'm going to type in 302. 100 shares. Okay, I'm going to click buy. And you could see right here, I have an order out there at 302. You see it right there? Where is it? It's right here. So ENVB for 200. Now, when I click cancel, I want you to look at this number right here at 302. You see this go right over here, 302. You see it says 200? I have 100. Watch what happens. I click cancel. So I cancel my order. You see how it dropped down to 1,100? That's the power of direct access. So basically what you saw is me putting order out there, negotiating, buying with just everyone on Wall Street. Everybody. Now I'll do it again. You see at 302, right here, right there on the where my little dot is. Now I'm going to go right here. I'm going to load up my system. I'm going to click buy. So I cancel my order. I'm going to click buy. It says accepted. Okay. And if you look over here at 3 and 2, you see it set to 1,200. When I click cancel, watch it drop down to down 6,000. Somebody went out there. Someone added some more shares to that. See it drop down to 159. That is the power of direct access. Does anyone have any questions about that? Any questions? Easy? Okay. So let me move this back down here. All right, so tips for new traders. So now we know that we can go out there and place bids and offers and have a seat on the exchange, because now if you notice on the New York Stock Exchange, you don't have those people on the floor anymore. They don't need to. Everything is electronic. Now you could actually go out there and place bids and offers so you don't have these online brokers trading against you. Any of you people have been reading something called payment for order flow, where they're taking your order and they're selling it. You probably heard what happened with Robinhood, with all those orders that went out there. Well, now you could actually go out there and you don't need them anymore. You have a seat on your own. So that is about 50% of the failure rate in today's industry. So the next thing we need to know is, okay, now we know how to place bids and offers. How do we know how to find stocks? Now, my question to you is this, everybody. How do stocks go up and down in the stock market? How do stocks go up and go down? It's a simple question. You should all be able to answer this question. Okay, Gary, you're correct. Pakish, you also, Tony, Gary. If you said buyers and sellers, supply and demand, congratulations, you just passed kindergarten. Okay, so now let me tell you the power of how we trade. When you trade a stock, do you know who's buying it and who's selling it? Does it really matter? No. But the question is, I don't care about those 19 buyers out there. All I care about is that what makes a support and resistance levels is buyers and sellers, the supply and the demand. And when you look over here on MDXG, you have 116,000 share buyers out there at $6. There's 19 orders out there. Who do you think is going to make more of a support level? The buyer for 200 shares, the buyer for 15 shares, the buyer for 800, or the buyer for 116,000? See, there's a lot of numbers out there, right? But there's only 99% of it is worthless. It's that guy you wanted to, and that's the guy you want to focus on. So if you saw a stock coming down and you're like, oh my God, where's support levels? Well, that's where the support level is. That's where that buyer is. That's where it comes in. And just like everyone here, I know this is probably hard to read, but you guys could take a look at it closely, but it's all about seeing where the big block orders are. The 70,000 shares, the 90,000 share sellers, the 80,000 share seller. I don't know where this one is. I think this one's wrong, but it's up here. You got 11, 17, the arrow probably wrong. It's supposed to be up here. But it's all about following the big orders. It's those big orders that make support and resistance levels. See, to me, support resistance levels to everyone is worthless and doesn't even exist unless that buyer is there and that seller is there. And how are you going to know that? By using something like this. Now, how do we put this all together? Well, stock's at 720. Okay, stock goes from 720 all the way down to $6. It stops at 6. Why 6? Out of all numbers, why $6 a share? Okay, why didn't it go stop at 5? Why didn't it stop at 660? Well, I'll tell you why. When you look over here at the buy side, there was a 116,000 share buyer out there, 19,000 shares at $6. So think about this for a second. Stock from 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 11:30, and you're wondering, oh, that's support levels. No, it wasn't a support level because the 15 green candlesticks or because the MACD crossed with the Bollinger Band, or whatever. It has nothing to do with it. It has to do about that 116,000 share buyer out there. That's it. And if you knew he was out there, you could have bought it at 6, sold it at 640, bought it back at 6, sold it back at 640. You could have traded the stock several times because that's what it comes down to it. Buyers and sellers. Now, here's another example. Stock goes from, you could see this one, BITF. Stock goes from 660 at 9:30 this morning, drops from all the way down to about 12 o'clock, stops specifically right around this price, around 588. And it was there for about 15 minutes. Hit it, went up, hit it. Why that number? Where did that number come from? Oh, I know why. Because there's a 52,000 share buyer and there's 10 people that make it out, make up for it. I mean, do you think the 2,000 share buyer is going to make up for it? Could. 300? Well, 2,300 is more than 300. No, it's the 52,000. All right. My question to you is this, everybody. How many of you here are following the big money? Anybody here doing that right now? Okay. Think about this for a second. How much smarter and better trading decisions would you make by knowing who's buying it and who's selling it? You're trying, yeah, you just, and you know what the hardest thing too is, like, you could see those buyers out there, and we're going to talk about them getting executed because there's something else that's going to come along with this on top of it. But at the end of today's presentation, I'm going to invite all of you guys to come in and watch, and see this live. You know what I mean? And you know what? It's going to take some time to get used to it because some of you are going to be like, no, it can't be this easy. Or you're like, where's the monitor? Where's the crystal ball that this guy was talking about? Where's the other 15 charts? You don't need that. 90% what they give you on these platforms are worthless. You don't need it. But it's that guy you want to watch. So we call this iceberg orders. That's what we call them. You have to follow the iceberg. Where that name come from? I came up with that word after watching the movie The Titanic. Now I'm hearing everyone's using the word iceberg. So go on my YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed yet. And I have probably a library of thousands of videos, and I even did one on iceberg, so you can find out the truth what it was. So anyway, but the goal is having a game plan. You got to have a game plan. You got to know where the buyers are, and you got to know where the sellers are. That really what comes down to it. Now, does that seem hard, traders? Does that seem complicated so far to see where the big block orders are? It's not, right, Gary? Right, John? Right, Bill? Right, Bob? It's not. You believe it or not, you make it more complicated than what it is. Once again, then why is it so hard? And why is no one really successful, doing it? Well, first of all, I don't know what they're doing in their part. Secondly, listen, the hardest thing to teach is the discipline and the psychology behind it. That really pretty much does it. Finding them, knowing what they're doing, I mean, the writing is on the wall. I mean, look at this stock, for crying out loud. At 12:30, it goes from 4:30, goes all the way up to 5:10. Now you do the math. You buy 1,000 shares of that stock in a matter of an hour and a half. The stock just literally, look at it, just like went up, and go, woo, just really took off. And then it just stopped like a hit like a concrete wall, and just came bang down from 510 to 470. Why? Because there's a 33,000 share seller out there. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think you know better than him? You think you want to say, oh, that guy's fake? That's fake news? Yeah. Okay. Let me know how that works out for you. So, but if you knew he was out there and you had a game plan and you sold it, let's say at like 514 or 513, and you owned it at 550, I mean, if you sold it at 510, you made 60 cents. 60 cents on 1,000 shares is $600. Who here doesn't want to make $100,000 a year? It's not that, and believe me, they're there every day. Hell, you know what? If you just bought at 60, you sold it at 80 and made 20 cents. 20 cents. 20 cents on 1,000 shares is $200. That's about a $50,000 salary. You don't have to kill it. I don't know about you guys, fellow traders, but I hate egos. Like you probably see these people on YouTube and, hey, look, I made $22,000 today trading AMC and this and that. You know what I mean? Like, how does that make you money? And how do you, and by the way, just to give everybody a little warning. Do you know how much money he has to risk to make that? And how is that like put you in that same, even if if he even did that, how are you going to learn from somebody, sitting at the table where somebody's playing $5,000 hands of blackjack and you're only looking to play $5 hands of blackjack? I mean, don't you feel intimidated? And how are you going to contribute? Why? Because he wants to shove it in your face? I mean, like, listen, this is not the Wolf of Wall Street. I know a lot of people like that kind of, and you know what? There's a market for that. But I'm going to be 50 years old, and I don't really need. It's not really. After 25 years, that ship has gone and sailed. Let's try to make things comfortable. All right. So now, how can you tell if their iceberg orders got broken through? Are they real? Did they get executed? Let's talk about that. Now, how many of you here are using something called time and sales? How many people here use time and sales? Wow, look at that. Not really that many? Oh my God. Okay. Have any of you read any of the old books that talk about tape readers? I'm actually a tape reader. Okay. A tape reader looks at the tape, meaning we look at the time and sales and we see where the transactions are taking place. And one of you just brought up, he goes, what about dark pools? And some of you also asking, how do you know these are real orders? Well, every transaction that you do has to get confirmed through the exchange. And your order actually will come up there on time and sales. All right. So that basically what happens. So let me just bring up this stock right here. You see this, we're going to bring up this stock right here, and I'm going to do a trade. I'll show you what we're looking at here. Let me bring up my order. So right here, you can see it says 18. We're gonna try to buy the stock for 100 shares here at $3.05, right? 100 shares. So you see it says right here 1,800. When I click buy, see how I turn to 1,900? Okay. I got an order accepted. It's out there. Now, let's just say I want to buy it. All right. So I'll cancel my order. You see I disappeared. All right. And I'm going to go out there. I'm going to buy 100 shares at right here at 306. Okay. I'm going to click buy. Boom. See that order right there? That was me. And right here's 100 shares. I'm down $1 because 100 shares, 100 shares from 6 to 7 is a penny. Oh, look, I got it. Look, it's going up. All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to try to sell it. All right. I'm going to go out there, load up my position. I'm going to try to see if I can make a penny. I'm just having fun. Click sell. There's my order right there. Here's Fausto right there. Somebody else went out there for 300. So now what I'm doing is I'm negotiating. I'm trying to sell it. And somebody just got executed, but that's not my order. You can also get level 3 mark. Okay, I'm sorry. But they can cancel right. Yeah, listen, I could cancel an order too. Look, boom, I just canceled. I'm gone. Anybody can cancel an order. All right. But I want to show you the power of direct access and how you get executed and how you can cancel. You're looking at real orders that are getting executed. I'll go out there and try to negotiate again at 307. what do I got here? Okay. I'm going to go out there and sell at 307. There I am, 307. Okay. I'm out there negotiating right there. Click cancel. See how my order disappeared? Gonna try to sell it again. Accepted sell. There I am right there. Now, if I want to just get out right away, let's say I want to break even. I click over here, my 100. Is this somebody on there? Nasdaq? Yeah. Boom, boom, done. There's my order right there. You see it? Nasdaq, 100 shares, like that. See, that's how you see real live orders. So basically, I kind of broke even. You know, stock went up a little bit. All right. So that's direct access. How you know they're real orders. All right. So I just show you what a real order looks like. All right. So here's a chart, right? Just like a building, how stock goes up. Now, how do we know stocks are breaking support and resistance levels? Buyers and sellers. We have something called a building method that when you break through a ceiling, that ceiling becomes a new floor. When you break the next ceiling, that ceiling becomes a new floor. You got to know where the buyers and sellers are. So let's look back at time and sales. Green means transactions are going off on the ask. Red means transactions going off on the bid. You got a column that tells you how many shares are going off and at what time. Now think about it. You get a lot of greens. That means people want to buy it. The stock's going up. You get a lot of reds. That means people are selling. In theory, the stock's going down. So that's some of the reasons how we use time and sales. Now, what do you have over here? A lot of greens, very little reds. So we're assuming the stock's going to go higher. Why would anybody want to buy a stock unless they thought it was going up? That's why time and sales is a very, very important tool. Now, let's look at this example right here. Can everyone tell me where you think resistance level is in F cell? See if you guys could tell me where resistance levels is. Where do you think, in theory, resistance levels would be on F cell? Well, remember, a resistance would be on the sell side. So it's over here on the right. So what are we looking for? A big iceberg order, okay? Where, by the way, if you can't, I mean, listen, if you don't know the answer to this question, just give me a question mark, that's all. So if everybody said 690, congratulations, you're right. I mean, listen, there's a lot of numbers out there, but I don't really care about all the other. The only number I care about is where a lot of shares are, and it's right there at 690. So look what happened here at 690. The stock hit it, went down, hit it, went down, hit it, went down. After about 30 minutes, it finally went past 690 and shot up all the way to 770. Okay. Now, this was the stock that I traded right here. I didn't, I did okay. I was actually done pretty early. I didn't make a crazy amount of money. It was basically $347 of F-cell. This was our big trade that we did today. And you can see how the stock literally just went from, all the way up from, 650, 7, oil was 750. When that seller got done, and you could see from green. When that seller was done, look what happened. The stock shot up to 770. I mean, how did it go up so fast? Because when you had a big block order like that get executed, bingo, who else would want to buy a stock unless they thought it was going higher? So can those big sellers get executed? Absolutely. So not only do we use it to have a game plan where to get in and out, but we will also use it as a game plan because we all have support and resistance levels at every price level. And we know support and resistance levels get broken all the time. And there you go. So how do we find what stocks to trade? Let's go to the next one. Now, by the way, did I lose anybody yet on ECNs? Did I lose anybody on Iceberg Orders? It looks like no one left. It looks like the number's going higher, which is awesome. And did I lose anybody? Perfect. Good. Does that seem complicated? Does that seem hard? I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I was sold on this. By the way, I already get people always asking me this. How much does that cost? Let me tell you how much it cost. When I started, it cost me about $1,000 a month for that data. $1,000. A 22-year-old coming up with $1,000. You kidding me? But my mentor was right. He goes, hey, you want to make a six-figure salary? Listen, I don't know any stores you can get on Manhattan for free. You get what you pay for. You want free? That's all it's worth. What does it cost today? $15 a month for that data. It's like, why would nobody want that? Let me just give everybody a little advice. And you might not like me sometimes. I'm probably a little brash. I could be a little arrogant sometimes. It's not because I try to be, because I love you guys and I don't want you to lose money. I just hate it. It bothers me. I guess, I don't know, maybe it's how I was raised, with a strict Italian father, but it's not necessary. It's not necessary. You can't be cheap when it comes to trading. You're going to have to spend a little money. I don't know anybody that made money by not spending money unless they got lucky. All right. And, people get lucky. And you don't want to be lucky in this business because luck eventually runs out. Now, how do we find these stocks? Well, that's the next question people ask. Well, finding them is really not that hard. Every morning we do a morning watch list. And by the way, I'm going to show you guys how to do it at the end of this presentation. But basically we look for stocks that have good volume, good spread, good iceberg orders, market maker, reverse psychology, which we'll talk about. But like when we go through a watch list, I basically just go off my big percentage gainers and losers. That's really pretty much it. And we just basically find things that have good trends, but we can't trade them all. Some of them move too fast. Some of them are too volatile. Some of them are brand name stocks. Some of them don't have good iceberg orders. Some of them not really moving at a certain amount of time. So things change, but finding them is not really that hard to do. So we just kind of scan the big top 20 percentage gainers and we'll find these stocks up 44%, 30%, and that's basically what we do. And every brokerage firm, by the way, has a big percentage gainers and losers list. FCell, yeah, FCell right now, it's the most active stock on the Nasdaq. It was probably the big percentage gainer, Lee. I mean, now it's number 9 on the list as percentage gainers. It was number 1 earlier, but you can see how it started. It's been trending down. So, as a gift, no charge, basically that's how we find the stocks. Now, let's take it to the next level. We put something together to really be special for all of you. And I think you guys are going to love it. Okay. Hopefully, everybody learned just enough to be dangerous, which could be a problem. But I need a little more time to work with you guys. I need more time, my staff, my team. We need to I need to invite you guys into my trading room. I want to show you this stuff because I can't teach how to make money in an hour. I need more time with you. So I had my right-hand man, Greg. You probably see him in the trading room. You probably see some emails from him. I said, listen, I want you to build a nice custom membership workshop for my traders. Because listen, seeing market makers place bids and offers, seeing me placing a bid out there and not knowing how to do it step by step, there's a little work that's involved. Showing you what happens, great. I mean, imagine me showing you come from public transportation and I say, hey, you could drive your own car. Like, oh yeah, I'm in, buy it. No, you guys still take your test. You got to learn how to drive. And like, you get it. Trading is the same thing. You're not going to hire somebody and throw them into the field. You got to train them. But if you like the job, let me take the time and build it. So Greg work very diligently to build a nice program for all of you guys out there. So listen, you want to see what's at the end of the rainbow. You can't look at things half full. So this is what basically we're going to do. I came up with something called a jumpstart class. What does jumpstart mean? Well, jumpstart basically is just getting your feet wet, getting what it's like to be part of it. Okay, getting all these workshops, having you be able to talk to my staff, be able to, coordinate and be part of my team, being in the trading room. So there's a lot of little things that are going to come along with it. that you're going to get. And listen, it's not going to take you long. Listen, to me, like when it comes to trading, like I said earlier, you can't teach somebody, if you're doing something more than 60, 90 days, you're not going to get it. And it's okay to change, but it's not going to take you that long. Okay. So I wanted to make something very quick, to the point, something that everybody could afford and that could learn pretty quickly. So I'm going to be giving you all these workshops. Okay. And you could see them literally over 12 hours. Imagine what we learned in 30 minutes, because I've had to talk about myself for about 30 minutes. But imagine what you're going to get. You're going to get getting started with CTU. You're going to learn how to set up your computer platform, the worst and best times to trade, how to trade on news, what support resistance levels. I mean, what I've shown you in about 2-3 minutes is about an hour to talk about it. Okay. This alone is an $1,000 curriculum that we sell. Yes, even how to use TradeStation. Absolutely. So let me tell you straight out. Or you decide to yourself to go through phase 1 boot camp, okay? And you'll be more equipped to trade these fast movers than low stocks, than 99% of the people on the planet. Everyone wants to trade a fast moving stock. That's okay, but why go out there and trade a fast moving stock just because you know the name? Why can't trade something less, more controllable? Because you're just here to make money to do that. So the first thing I included in the jumpstart for you is this. Basically Tom Busby and Fausto's live trading mastery class. We did a class together. If you're a fan of Tom Busby, I mean, listen, me and Tom trade exactly the same. The difference between me and Tom is he likes to trade options, little Forex. I just trade the stocks. I do swing trading, exclusively more day trading. So we actually did a workshop together. We're going to throw that in to everybody. It's a real-time trading. It was an awesome class. You guys are all going to get that. That's going to come with it. During that workshop, you're going to see how we scan the markets, how do we find those opportunities. You're going to see how Tom leverages himself on an option trade while I go out there and do it as a day trade, which is pretty cool. So you see how we look at them both different sides. This stock just in itself is worth in gold. Just that. I mean, having two masterminds working together, trading together in that workshop. Step 2 in the Jumpstart class is what's also going to get. I'm going to show you basically how to do entries and exits. I'm going to show you how to find stocks that get halted. Oh my God, the halts. The halts are so much fun to trade. How to get them before they make the run and get halted. How to prepare in pre-market. That's what you're going to get on the step 3 version of it. And more importantly, I'm going to teach you a little bit more psychology about the real profit opportunities, knowing where to get in and out of them. So I'm going to throw that in there. This all is a value of $1,300. Listen, it's a lot of work to train somebody. All right. So I'm not going to go there and I'm not going to charge you $1,300. All right. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to throw even another bonus. I'm going to give you 1 week of my trading room on top of that. So as much as you're going to get prepared in the trading room, not only that, but you're going to be able to talk to an education advisor. You're going to have access to our staff and our traders, and you're going to be able to come into the trading room. The trading room is right here. You can see it right here. This is the live trading room. You can see everybody starting to trade. Here's our instructor, Josh. I'm supposed to be in there, but I'm here talking to you, great people. You're going to see how you can see Grant and John and Bonnie. You can see how they're just all jumping into a stock right now, trading. What are they trading right here? VINO. It's up 38%. Look at that. Nice $4 stock. Beautiful. So you're going to get 5 wonderful products, and all this in value comes out to $1,500. Now, this is what I'm going to do. For today only, for the first 100 people that register, I'm going to do it for $397. That's it. $397. And with a guarantee, if you're not happy in 30 days, I'll give you money back. Let me explain something to you. Why would I do that? Why would I give all this great content and do it for $397? Because I need to find traders that I could trade with. That's really what it comes down to it. You can't be a successful trader and, not be able to teach you the basics. I can't take you under my wing and show it to you. Listen, My staff does not work for free, and I think you wouldn't want anybody to work for free either. Okay, that does not really, you must not be really that good. My staff does not work cheap, but if you could just cover my expenses, watch what you got to watch. Let me show you how to do it. You're getting all this for $397. And you know what? Like I said, for the first 100 people, you're all going to get it. And you know what? Throw another bonus in there. For the first 20 people that register, I'll even do a coaching class for you. I'm going to talk to you on the phone. Okay? You register right now. First 20 people on top of the 100, I will actually even, I'll do a consultation with you. That's another $500 on top of that. What better are you going to get than that? So click on that link. Let's get registered. Let's learn how to trade. Let's stop losing and let's start learning and trading and see why Cyber Trade University has been, has been in business for 25 years. Why we've been endorsed by every brokerage firm. Why we have a great record, with the Better Business Bureau and, with Google, in 25 years. Here's your chance. The link is right there. Actually, oops, sorry, he got it the wrong one. He has as panelists. He has it the wrong one. There you go. Let me put that link. There you go. It looks like CT. There you go. You posted up there. The $397. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? By the way, as you guys are registering, I got a couple of minutes. I want to answer, and we're going to play a video at the end of this presentation. I want to show you that. Listen, Nasdaq has me. Before they shut it down with COVID, I was a regular guest there talking specifically about the book viewer. They wanted me. They wanted me there, and this was right before COVID hit. And you're going to see all these meme stocks. I'm going to talk about the vaccine stocks. You're going to see Mindura when it was at $30. You all know where it is today. You're going to see that. I'm going to show you how crazy people are going. So you really think Nasdaq wanted me there? They didn't need me, but they wanted me there because they know you guys need to learn how to do this the proper way. Listen, you got to learn before you can earn. And that's where it comes down to it. Do I get the book viewer level 3 through TOS? Mike, they actually don't have it. So when you come in, when you register, we're going to show you how to just go right to the exchange and get it. It's a good platform. I mean, if you do your homework, listen, I've been on Thinkorswim. I probably did maybe 20, 30 interviews on their Wednesday on the web. If you remember when Tom Sosnoff was there. So, I was there from the beginning when they started. I was one of their featured stock traders that he come in to talk to them. But yeah, we're there all the time. And, it's a good platform, but doesn't have it, but it's not that hard. You could do it just the way I have it as a standalone. They do have the level 4 version of it, which is integrated to it. But Alan, we don't want to talk about that right now. Because I don't want you guys to buy any of this stuff. Can I just please teach you and show you how it works first before you go out there and do it? So before you're like, oh, Fausto told me this and he told me that. And listen, there's so much more. You're talking over, 12 hours of training. You're talking over 40 hours of live trading in the market. You're talking about hours of talking to my staff. It's $397. Start there first and then go from there. And you know what? If it doesn't work out, we'll give you money back. I don't care. I'm not looking for, I don't make money at $397. You know where I make money? If I could teach you to be a $100,000 trader and you're in my trading room, I'm going to make several thousand from you. That's the key. Couple of shout outs right here. So we got Mike from Chicago, got your registration. I got, who is this right here? Jeff from Georgia, just got your registration. Welcome aboard. What else we got here? I see you guys starting to register. Oh, by the way, when you guys register, there's a questionnaire at the end of it. Please tell us a little bit about you so we know who you are. We want to it helps us to kind of, when you have your appointment with your advisor, at least he can tell you a little bit more about what's going up, what's, about if you're doing it right, what you have right, what you don't have. So you're not going into trading blind. Jeffrey said, Bill just called in. Thank you very, very much, Bill. Yeah, so listen, call the phone number right there, 904-425-8838, or just click on the link and register. But listen, I don't really have that much time to spend with everyone on the phone. My time's very valuable. Not that I don't want to talk to all of you. I mean, I got a trade too. I got a family I got to worry about. But for the first 20, you'll get the coaching. I'm going to throw that on top of it. All right. You got to register now. Anybody else? Any other questions? You stop sharing this. When could you start? You can listen. Don't wait until next month. September, October, November are the best months of the year. Okay. And you're getting some great volatility. People are freaking out a little bit. They're like, is the market going to crash? And I think I don't like how the market's going. I mean, how much we down today? 300 points. I don't know if you guys saw that. We're down a lot. Okay. Not looking too good. Thank you very much, Kevin. Appreciate your comments. Thank you very much. Yes. So once you register, you're going to talk to education advisor, and what they're going to do is they're going to get you, they're going to do a walkthrough. They're going to tell you a little bit about the platform, what you need to watch. So when you go into the trading room, you're not going to be trading blind. All right. So listen, I know I'm sorry I keep talking, but thank you all for coming. I want to get ready to trade the close with my traders. We're going into the last, we're getting ready for the market to close out. So I want to do a couple more trades, even in the after hours. So if you want to see that, click now, register, make sure you book your appointment. And like I said, you got to learn before you can earn. So go out there and do it. So I hope to see you all there. Thank you very much for being there. Be safe. And let's all make money together, all right? And don't go anywhere. We're going to play a quick little video of the Nasdaq show before we go. All right, guys? Thank you so much. Enjoy it. I look forward to seeing you all in the trading room.
Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me at the market site in Times Square, New York City, we have Fausto Pugliese. He's the founder and president of Cyber Trading University. We're going to take a look at how traders are using Total View. And Fausto, it could not be a better time to have you in with us at Marketplace, because with everything going on, the volatility we've seen in the market since you were with us in the middle of February last time.
That was pretty crazy.
Traders are asking themselves, what's the bottom, what's the top? But as a day trader, you can kind of get an inside look when you're looking at a single stock.
Yeah, what is, Jill, is that, thanks for having me again. And yes, when it comes to day trading, people realize that what happens over the course of the day, which trickles down to a swing trade and to a long-term investment. And my phone's been blowing up. People could ask me, Fausto, is this the bottom? Is this the bottom? Because we're looking at the market all day. And honestly, this is how you really know when it's the bottom. When you have the worst of the worst of the worst news and just constantly all negative stuff, and the market's not going any lower, that's when you know it's time to buy. So as you see, like, a lot of bad news keeps coming up, and then obviously you saw what happened yesterday when they lowered the Fed rate by a half. It took for a big decline, and all of a sudden the market's up about almost like 900 points so far. So and there's still a lot of bad news that's coming out with the coronavirus and everything else, but that's really when you know when you hit the bottom. So for some of the listeners out there that really missed the boat when the market had a big rally, we almost hit 30,000. You know, these are the opportunities. You know, honestly, it is like the same thing I saw back in 2008 when we had the financial crisis. So once you start seeing all the bad news, things start backing up, start going up.
All right, let's take a look at our example here today. We're going to look at ticker symbol MRNA, Nasdaq listed, of course. What are we looking at? Where's the levels that you're looking to sell?
Okay, so listen, what is mRNA? You know, I keep bringing up stocks, and people are like, what does this company do? It doesn't matter. We're just here to make money. The main goal about Total View is you have to understand how it works, how to know where the buyers and sellers are. It's all about supply and demand. That's why it's such a great tool. So we're looking at a chart right here, and we're looking at the stock right here. And the first thing people notice is, like, the stock's going up beautifully. Nice. Look at the stock. Started this morning. It's at 25.80. It's at 28. Is it going higher? Now the goal is, why does the stock keep breaking out? It hits a resistance, it comes back down. It breaks the previous resistance, keeps going up. How do you know it's going to keep breaking higher highs? And that, what we're going to do this time is we're going to bring a video so you all could see exactly what it's like to see in the real market conditions.
All right, so let's move along to our next slide here. That's exactly what we're doing. Let's take a look at Total View. I'm going to let you take the reins. Tell us what's happening here.
Okay, so we got like a little minute video here. So we're looking at some real time. And the key here is time and sales. These are the transactions that are taking place. We're looking at level 2. Level 2 is basically people get for free, but it doesn't give you the depth of data as Total View does. Now, the key here is that you don't see that many sellers out there. You're just seeing the best bid and best offer of that exchange. But you'll notice how the stock keeps going higher. What we need to focus on is where you see the big sellers. And you're looking for big orders. You got 51 different orders out there, right around 28. Things are going so quickly, I try to slow it down. So right around $28, $28.50. So that is really your resistance level. So when you're looking at a stock going out, going higher, you're going to say, is the stock going to break out? So you see it's coming up to this guy right here really quickly. You see it's coming up. It's coming up to this person right here. So 70,000 shares, 5,000 shares. So it's going to come up to that seller. Now the goal is this. Is that guy going to get executed? Remember, you have 100 share sellers, 300 shares, 1,000. You have a big order out there. You want to see if that guy gets executed, and you want to see if that's how it breaks out. Remember, what makes support and resistance levels is buyers and sellers. So you got a seller out there. So we're coming up to that seller right here. Now the goal is to look right here and see if that seller gets executed. And you see it's coming up to the seller, and boom, the guy gets taken out. It's actually executing it. Boom, 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 boom. Look at that. See all those transactions? It took the guy out. Now look how fast the stock goes up. From 250, we're at 260, 270, 280, boom, like that, as quickly as that. That's why it's so important to know where the orders are, know where the resistance, and see if the guy gets taken out. Now, when we get to the next slide, look at it. We're already at 2880.
Yep, and you can see these 35,000 orders.
Exactly. Now, this is the next order. Now, the next question is, here's the next biggest resistance. There's 33,000 shares. There's 100 different orders out there. Now, then that's where the next resistance level is. So the goal is you hit a resistance, where's the next resistance? The next resistance is the next biggest seller. So now we're coming up to him, and we're going to see what's going to happen when he gets to 29.
Yeah, it happens so fast.
Well, also, this is about a 5-minute video that I was able to capture when we traded this stock, and I kind of speeded it up over about a minute, so it doesn't move as quickly. Boom, we hit 29, the guy got taken out again, and look at the stock just took off again. And the thing I want to explain to you, Jill, is that, and your listeners have to understand, is that when you have a big seller out there and that guy gets taken out, that is a very big demand. Someone says, oh, wow, I'll take that 30,000 shares, and that's why you get the stock that really, really starts to take off. Now, the next thing is that you're going to get some resistance levels. It's going to start backing off. There's always profit taking going on, right?
Of course.
So when you have profit taking going on, you could see profit taking going on, but the question is it really a profit taking, or is it just people just or is it really going to go lower? In this case, it's not. Seller got done. Remember, we just watched the stock go from 28 to 29. Now look at it. We're at 29.50 already. Stock just keeps going higher and higher because those sellers are getting executed. As those sellers get executed, that means there's a demand for it. When you see big block orders out there, it makes a bigger demand, and that makes it higher. Now, the next resistance level, obviously, is going to be where we have to focus on, where the next biggest orders are. So we got some, I think we freeze, right? We're done?
Nope,
Almost.
we have a little bit more to go here.
We slow down over here. Yep, we're done. So the next video we're going to show.
Yeah, we actually go to our slide here, so this is where you're looking at those levels.
Right, so we're looking at the seller. So we have a 67,000 share seller at 28. So now we have to look what we call iceberg orders.
What does that mean?
Okay. So it's a funny story. So I came up with this word about 20 years ago after watching the movie The Titanic. Okay. Actually, go watch that movie. Very sad movie. I definitely recommend it. So anyway, what happened to Titanic? It hit an iceberg. And the thing is, everybody was focused on the pretty of the ship and above the water. They didn't realize it's not what's above the water, it's at the bottom of the water. Icebergs are really big. So what happened, it crashed and it sunk. So what we're looking for is big iceberg orders, which we call, some people call them big block orders, but when you see a big order, it's called an iceberg order. So now we're looking at a 28.90, and we're looking for a resistance. Once again, stock's going higher, we need to focus on the next resistance level.
All right, and which is on the next chart here. If we take a look, yep.
So here's just a quick little screenshot. So as we're looking at it, you see, it's a lot easier when you're focusing on, when you're just looking at the level, the total view, and it's easy to point it out. Now, please keep in mind, your listeners have to understand, we're fast forwarding this pretty quickly to get to the point. It doesn't move this quickly. But I'm showing right here is just a quick screenshot. What we're focusing on is this big order right here for 73,000 shares, and there's 315 different orders out there making up that 73,000. Now, the thing I just want to point out is I just want to teach everyone a quick little lesson.
Yeah.
Don't ever sell anything at $30. Go out at $29.99. You just cut the line by
So that's for anything that's like an even number.
Biggest trick I was taught by my mentors when I was younger. Listen, everybody's going to think 30. Everybody's going to think 20. Go out 21.99. You just cut the line by 73,000 shares. That's a very good.
It's like selling a house or buying a house. It's like that, those incremental psychological levels.
Well, if you remember, if you look at it, the stock has a penny intervals. And so that's a little tip. But the thing is, let's focus on what happens to the 30. No, just right off the bat, you know that's a major resistance levels, and that's what we have to focus on. That's for the stock to go any higher, it's got to get through that 73,000 share seller on total view.
All right, well, let's take a look at that next side. See what happens next. Now we're going to get the other piece of the trade.
Okay, so here we're looking at the stock moving. Here's 29.45, 29.48, 62, 67. So the sellers are getting executed. You can see the transactions taking place, but we know that there's that guy sitting right here. And now his order's coming up. Look, he's starting making up the ranking. It's getting up to 30. It's getting close to him. So let's watch what happens. 74, 70. Look at the transactions taking place. It's trying to get there. And by the way, those orders, they're all real. People think like they're fake. Those are real orders. Can a guy cancel it? Of course they can cancel it. But that you have to take very seriously, and that's a real order out there. So now as we're looking at it, and as it's trading, it's trying to get there. Actually, it kind of almost tested it. You see that right there?
Yep.
See that candle right there? It's hit it, and now it's starting to back off a little. Now you're starting to see the red candlesticks. So now it means that the last sale is lower than the previous.
And this works for all kinds of stocks. ETFs, would it work for ETFs also?
ETFs, futures, options. It works the same way. Remember, it's the movement of the stock that makes all those other things. Yes,
right.
ETFs and everything else. You could look up any ETF, and it'll come up on total view. Look, now we're down to 29.
Yep.
So my point that I'm getting to is this. If you didn't have a game plan, Jill, and didn't know that seller was out there, and you try to
And actually, if we go to the next slide, this is exactly what you were talking about. There's your level right there.
If you didn't have a game plan and knew that seller was out there, and look at that candle, that stock literally moved. Look how fast it moved in that one bar chart. If you didn't have a game plan to get out there before that guy was out there, and if you didn't what we call shaving, if you didn't shave just before that 30 and cut that line, guess what? You would just look how much money you would have lost. That stock didn't even drop from 30. Look where it went to. 27.30.
Wow.
You would have got crushed on that trade. Because what happens, if that seller's out there and he's not getting executed, he really had to sell that order, Jill. How is he going to get out? He's got to sell to the buyers. If he hits the bid, he's running that stock down, not you and I. Remember, we're not trading 74,000. Someone else is, and it's not one person. We saw it. It was like there was several people out there doing it. And that's how you got to focus on using the total view when you trade in today's volatile markets.
All right. So cool to actually watch it happen in real time. Thanks so much for doing that for us, Fausto. And thank you for joining me on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.